Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Glay.
John Glay,
I'm
good
looking
morning.
over here at this
Beautiful
Celtic
lady.
woman over here and thinking about being on the Glay and on the Glen, and there you go. Can't even remember my own name.
You know, we just talked like
I was looking at her legs is what I was looking at.
Oh, my goodness. We apologize for that.
No, don't apologize
it's
for
true,
me.
but I mean, we apologize.
You'll see after a while.
Yeah.
Okay, John.
I'm John.
John Glay.
I'm
This
John
is
Glay.
Peggy Burton. Hi.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And
We were just talking last week about forgetting our names.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, there you go. See, it happens.
Happens to the worst of us.
Yeah.
it does. It does. You had a good week.
Yeah, I always try to have a good week.
Did you get to the Elvis show?
I went to the Elvis show. My son and daughter-in-law were in the Elvis show along with a whole lot of other people. And you talk about a Jamie Harden, man, and Fuzz, Cliff, they know how to put a show on.
Well, they
There was
flat
400.
packed the house.
There was 400
Yeah, that
some
was
odd
great.
people there.
They do a class act.
Oh,
They have
it's
a class
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I'm really fond of Jamie, and
He's a hard worker.
He's a hard worker. He makes it happen.
And what's cool about it is, of course, he and his dad have Harden signs. So their backdrops are just, I mean, they can create, where you and I'd have to go out and pay somebody to do this. They can do all of that in-house.
Right.
And I mean, they had Elvis, they had a head of Elvis that was probably 10 foot tall.
Yeah, that was a neat picture, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they was all around the back of the stage and on the sides and front and everything. It was a great
Anyway,
show.
good
If you
job.
have an opportunity to see any of the stuff Ultimate Oldies does, go see it.
Absolutely.
Especially
They
if
do a
it's
great
at
job.
South Jackson Civic
Well, of
Center.
course.
You know, speaking of sets, you shot something that was the mayor about and involved the What I Like About Tullahoma
Yeah,
thing, and I don't know what the set was at South Jackson, but it was really neat. The mayor.
Well, that
speaking
set
Was that something Fran put together?
was up there because Kat Murray was doing her Michael
that's
Jackson
right.
show.
That's right.
And that's part of the Walk Like the Egyptian
Yeah,
thing
right.
where they have an Egyptian coffin out there and stuff. And that was that set. And it really looked cool. And it's really kind of great because a lot of the things at the city, when they come to South Jackson, I know one time they came over there to do Veterans Day, and there was this huge clock on the wall
We were doing Starcatcher, I think.
that was there
Wasn't
for
that it?
Starcatcher.
Yeah. And I
so
liked
it really makes a great backdrop, and it's
Right.
funny how a lot of the times these things just sort of seem to fit the event that's walking in front of them.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
and
There
so
was
it's really
something
kinda
about
cool.
it that was appropriate.
Yeah, really kind of cool.
Anyway, here we are.
Here we are, absolutely. I remember one time we did when we actually broadcast in the Legion. Remember we had New Year's Eve, and it fell on the same day we did this show, and we were all decorated up for New Year's Eve. And a lot of people thought we did all that just for
them.
just for the show, but no,
It's good, yeah. I like to see things that stack on top of other things.
yeah.
Well, and I like to see a set that looks like somebody took the time to care about what they put up there. I like sets. I like depth of field. I like something behind the people that I like. That's why you see all this crazy stuff up here. And a lot of times it looks like it's a bit much, but with every shot, there's, when there's a single over here, there's that the Angels got her St. Patrick's hat on back there because this weekend's St. Patrick's Day.
I know.
In case you guys, I'm sure most of you folks probably watched Tom Corrington's Grassroots show. Early on, this has been many years ago, John had Tom's set all decorated up with all these flowers, and
Did Tom move it?
Tom said, "Could y'all cut back on these flowers a little bit? I feel like I've died and I'm at my funeral or something,
Well, and Sue, his wife, thinks the sets. She started giving me direction on how the sets needed to look, and
Yeah.
I really didn't pay a whole lot.
Well, some of us are minimalists,
Yeah, oh yeah.
because I am. You don't see a lot of decoration around my house. I mean, I've hung pictures that have been there for years and years. But
My
it
office
doesn't
is
mean I
kinda-
don't
my
like some
office
of
is
it.
kind of like that. I finally had to tell my family, do not buy me anything
junk.
anymore that you have to sit somewhere.
I know it.
Because I have no more space left to
I
sit
know.
anything in my
As
office.
I've said before, once I set it down, there it stays forever.
Right.
I can't move it and put it somewhere else.
Right.
I have told all of my family, you want to get me anything? Condiments.
Oh,
I mean
Good.
condiments.
I'd leave
mean, you know,
I'd leave that one alone,
You almost
Peggy, if I
caught
were
me.
you.
I will.
You know, I mean, and it's really cool because for Christmas, Jacob gave me a box of 4 different types of Jack Daniel's mustard.
Oh,
And I
well,
love,
that's a cool idea.
I just love condiments, and I like the different barbecue sauces and stuff like that. And they're gonna get me something, give me that. I don't, you know, we've got more stuff. Everybody out
Has
there
too
probably
much
has more
stuff.
stuff than you could ever use in your whole life, sitting around
That's
gathering
true.
dust.
Yeah, I moved a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, and from a home that we had lived in for 30 years, and I finally had to get one of those construction dumpsters.
Yeah.
John's familiar with
Yeah.
that. And then they sit it in the driveway, and I just had to start throwing stuff away because it was mainly the stuff that was in the attic, but I hadn't seen it in years.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and it was
we-
like I'm never going to use this stuff.
Do y'all remember Marlene Moore, my good friend
Yeah.
Marlene? Well, when her husband died, you know, everybody says don't do anything for at least a year. Not Marlene. Marlene went and rented herself an apartment, a real nice one in Nashville, measured every inch of it, came home, measured in her house what was going to fit in it, and everything else she got rid of.
Yeah.
I admire
for
that.
her.
I do too,
I
and you know
admire
this
that.
worked out really well because the neighbors saw that I was throwing all this stuff away.
Did they come
and
get it?
you know, and one day the dumpster would be half full, and the
Yeah.
next day it'd all be gone, and you know.
So
and
you
finally, when
supplied the world.
of course, I kept it for several weeks, but
Yeah.
when I finally finished, there was not a whole lot of stuff still left in the dumpster, and I'd filled it up 2 or 3 times. That's
great.
I mean, it's great. I didn't know what to do with it. So anyway, Peggy, you had a great statement a moment ago.
What was it?
It was about when you won the
Well,
runner-up
no,
to MT,
yeah.
Miss MT.
Miss Middle Tennessee something.
Miss
I
Middle
don't know. It
Tennessee
was a long time
State,
ago.
Anyway, and
it was-
and your question. Tell
Yeah,
us
it was
about
back when the sack dress was in. Y'all
Yes.
remember that?
Yes.
You know, it was just
Jimmy and I
about,
like the
about your
sack
knee,
dress. Yeah, we
but
do.
it just came straight down. It was a sack dress, and they got around to I was top 5, you know, and they get around to asking that last question, and my question was, what do you think about the new style, the sack dress? And I just said, well, honey, if you can't stack it, sack it.
Okay.
That
And
was
with
my
that, and with that, folks, we'll be back right after these commercial messages. Don't you go away.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck. Chevy, Ford, and Ram, man. Russell's got your truck. With the best selection anywhere. Russell's got your truck.
Where can you find all 4 all-American truck brands all at one place? Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com. If you still can't decide, give us a call. We'll line them up for you. Either way, my question is, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
Russell's got your truck, man.
All I have to do is think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday Miracles, Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm so excited today. I've got a new visitor. She's come a long way, maybe from as far as Winchester. There she is. Let's give her a hand, folks. It looks like Miss Melissa Long.
Hello.
Melissa,
Hi.
what in the world are you made up
Well,
for today? You're a traveling woman, I can tell.
Absolutely.
Does that have something to do with art?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, I must show you.
Okay. What a cool
My cape.
outfit.
It's an Art Deco design.
And
Roy Lichtenstein.
And
Pop art. Roy
it's
Lichtenstein.
beautiful.
Yes. And you
I
know,
love it.
pop art came out in the 60s, the 1960s, and so it's very relevant to what I'm trying to bring
To the
town.
world.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not that. No, not now. See, here you have.
You got your suitcase
Yes,
full of stuff.
yes,
All
full
right.
of mystery.
Oh, all right.
Now, see, they don't know what's in here yet.
No,
you
nobody
see.
knows, nor do I.
No. So, I must give you a peek, okay? Yeah.
Can we see that? This has something to do with mail, does it not?
Yes, mail art. It's
Mail
mail
art.
art started in the 1950s. A gentleman that I have a little.
Now, we're not talking about mail as in a man. We're talking about mail as in go to the post
Yes.
office, get
As
your letters.
in This is a letter that I
my.
made for my friend. I loved embellishing, and on the back I stamped and then did original drawing. And this is a stamp, and this is a typical letter embellishment with a real letter inside. You can actually, it's a great bargain. I don't care what they tell you. For 50 cents, under 50 cents, you could put 5 sheets of legal size paper written inside, front and back for that amount.
I didn't realize. And how much does that cost now?
This is gonna, I think it's gone up a bit. It may be just under 50 cents.
And
but
when you do all this, does the
it adds weight. You have to
it
be
adds
careful
weight,
when you
so you
collage.
have to be careful. Oh, I see. You've taken not just your stamp with money, but odd stamps
Yes.
just to make it fun.
Yes, yes.
And
So-
everybody that gets a letter from you probably gets excited. And they say, "Oh my gosh, Melissa's done it
Well,
again."
you know, I must say, my name's Melissa Long Krosnick. I don't know if I said
Oh,
that.
you didn't give me the Krosnick. I knew it was Melissa Long.
Yes, my Long is, I grew up in Sewanee, so this is my locale. And I just want you to be able to see my little trunk. I like to make an entrance. And
Well, you did a good job.
and my capes, I do different personas that kind of relate to what I'm talking about or not talking about. This is from Pop Art Card
Right.
that I did on the square in Winchester.
Well, so what is going on in the Art Center in Winchester?
Well, all I know about is what I'm doing, and it's
Okay.
at the Franklin County Library. It's up through April, and it's focusing on mail art, and a case has 4 tiers of my work, which I've
Wonderful.
brought some examples of.
Well,
And also art I've received, and these are postcards pretty much, but I try to focus on art. And the bottom tier of this has fabric
And
art.
where's that located?
It's on 105 South Porter Street.
Is that sort of across the...
If you go down the boulevard headed for the square, you turn left at the Burger King, and that's
Okay.
Porter Street, and
Now,
it's on the
I
left.
think we have some video from you, or some... Didn't we send some pictures?
I sent some pictures, yeah.
Okay, I think we need to show those, and you can tell us. Oh my gosh, I
yeah.
love that.
There's me in Bonanza. I made a bra hat and did a
Bonanza.
Yes, it was on the square
Was
in
that for
Winchester.
cancer?
Breast cancer awareness.
What a neat thing. I love it.
So I went out last October. That was in 2015. Last October, I went out and just did art encounters. And what I do with an art encounter is I make, you see, you have to make a production of things, right?
Yeah, okay.
And inside here, you are having an art encounter of the mail art kind.
Oh, thank you very
so
much.
you get a little card that's a keepsake.
And it's a
and gives you
keepsake, has
my
your name on it
email
and your
for my artist
address.
email.
And I have one of these, which I
You do?
am so proud of. Yes, I
Well, I will take it back
do. You can
then.
just have it back. I have it right on my desk. That's how I contacted you.
Yes, and so Bonanza was a group I got, picked some ladies who wore embellished bras over their clothing on the square during a wriggle to bring awareness for breast
That's
cancer.
wonderful.
And I had a sculpture exhibit. With the mail art is a sampling of my sculptures.
So,
too,
do we
at
have
the
a
library.
picture of that, or is,
No,
was
there's
it-
no
that
picture
was,
of
we
that.
just brought
per
that
se.
one picture. Is
I
that
am.
it?
See,
Okay.
this is from
Oh,
my
there it is.
envelopes. This is collaged envelopes that I decided I couldn't part with.
I like that.
So I just made a calendar from that.
So are they all stuck together and in one
Well,
sort
they're
of
in a catalog.
Okay.
Excuse me, in a
poster?
no, in a, what you call it, old-fashioned
Oh.
calendar. And see, these are some
Oh,
of them here.
I love that.
And this is the outside. Oh, and this
Oh.
is one of my favorites. Flip it over.
Oh,
This
Okay.
is
That's
it's,
beautiful.
You know, I cut this out and found verbiage. I use cut and paste, just literally do it. I don't do computer stuff.
That's awesome.
And I love the Campbell suit with the classic urn. And then each month has featured
Look at the
some
animals.
of
I
some of
just
my
want to
envelopes.
be me. These are all dogs. I hope you can see them.
Yeah, and like I said, these are culled from magazines.
That's
So-
the kind of thing as a small
Here's-
child I used to do. I'd get the catalog and I'd cut out things and they would talk and I'd stick them on. And I never dreamed I was doing art.
Oh, well, you know, we give a lot of highfalutin names to just plain old fun, don't we?
But these are beautiful.
And this
Look
is
at that.
this. I love the eyeball I put in here. I
That-
like to do this touch of surrealism.
and I like the-
pop art, by the way.
The timepieces that you had there. Well, that's neat. With the hands across the
And you
chair.
see, I matched the stamps as best I could. This is Oscar de la Renta, you know, of course, a designer. But anyway, that's that little shebang there.
What drew you to do all this?
I've always loved to write, and one of the things in my secret satchel is diary
Your
keeping.
diary.
I
So you
love,
kept a
and of course,
diary.
I'm primarily a sculptor. I spent 30 years in higher education from 1975 to 2005 when I got my BFA at UTC in Chattanooga. So I've spent my whole life curious and studying and being around young people. So this is
And being
a diary.
Energetic and creative is awesome. And so
Yeah.
that's a diary you kept since
This
when?
is actually, this is just one in 2004, and then it comes over to 2009. But I like it because it's interesting. I brought it because it's
You know, I
aesthetically
like it
pleasing.
because you can feel it, and it's real writing, and
Oh, this is wonderful.
that's going out of style. And so
see,
the writing itself is, the script itself is artistic to me.
Yes, and I see it's all blurry, but one of the things about, you know, typically like Emily Dickinson's was typically in that era, your private diaries were burned, were destroyed. Because it was
Because
personal.
it was personal. You didn't
and
want
so
anybody to see it.
I have this need to reveal, this need to be seen, obviously.
So there it is.
But I have this need to conceal. So
Well, let's
I took,
along.
Yes.
I know there's so much more you have to say, but we got 10 seconds to say it in, and you're just going to have to come back and bring your stuff. Oh, look at that.
This
Let me
is
see.
one of my mail arts. It's perfectly
That's
mailable.
beautiful.
And has its postage, etc. So I wanted to give you, I have plenty of examples here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big hand. Thank you,
Thank
Melissa.
you. Thank you.
Take
thank
your
you.
suitcase and come back
All
another
right.
time, okay?
I shall return.
And we will be back.
Attention Shoeistas, Bryn's Shoe Boutique in Tullahoma is closing forever. Every item in the store is reduced for immediate sale. Brenda is offering huge discounts on her entire inventory of fashion women's shoes, designer handbags, and jewelry, featuring famous brands like Yellow Box, Nine West, Bandolero, Impo, Coach, Michael Kors, Joseph Rupkoff, and others. The sale is underway now through March 3rd. Hurry in for huge savings at Bryn's Shoe Boutique, 115 Northwest Atlantic Street, Tullahoma. Open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday.
The Animal Shelter has served Tullahoma dogs for nearly 30 years. Now, you can help us build a bigger and better no-kill shelter. Your tax-deductible gift is matched dollar for dollar, so come on, bark it forward and donate now to have your tax-deductible gift matched. Make your check payable to the COT Shelter Building Fund and go to tullahomatn.gov to see all the unique gifts available for your generosity. For more details, you can call City Hall at 455-2648.
In this spot, we normally do the police thing with Chief Paul Blackwell, but he couldn't be here today, so we got the next best thing. Well, maybe it's the best thing. I'm not sure.
Chief 1.
Chief 1, okay.
Chief 2's unavailable, so Chief 1's here.
I see. Okay. Well, you heard it from the fire chief himself, Richard Chastain. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
You got a lot of neat things going on at the fire department, exciting things going on at the fire department. One of them I think you mentioned was a grant that you guys are.
We do. We're applying for a grant this spring for about $170,000, and with that grant, we'll be purchasing fire extinguishers and stove-top fire stops. You can't say that fast.
That's
times.
exactly right.
But,
you may have to tell me what that is.
Okay. Well, first of all, do you know what a fire extinguisher is?
Of course.
Okay. Well, some people have never used one, never had one. So we would like for everyone to have one in town, so that if a fire happens, they're right there with it. They can potentially put it out before it gets too big.
You know, and I've got an experience with that, because several years ago, someone pulled up in my driveway over on North Washington Street at my office, and they had a fire. Their car was on fire, and I went out and at least knocked it down until you guys got there and finished it off.
Right.
But the fire department was so nice that since I used my personal fire extinguisher, they gave me another one.
There you go. We're like that kind of, you know.
Carry on.
That's good, and that's the goal. Is if you can't completely put it out, at least you could slow it down a little bit, because it's going to take us 3 to 5 minutes to get there.
Right.
Once we're called.
Right.
And a fire doubles in size every 30 seconds.
Every 30 seconds.
So you're talking about getting big quick. So if you have something that can slow it down a little bit, you know, it's not going to be a great big fire extinguisher. It's going to be a small one, a household type.
Right.
But it'll be a good one. And the other item is a stovetop fire stop. And what this is, it's like a hockey puck. And it has a magnet and double-sided tape on it, and it fastens up under your hood over your stovetop. And you'll have 2 of them. And if you have a fire on the stove and it reaches a certain temperature with flame, these will automatically activate and dump the same basic powder that comes out of a fire extinguisher. It'll dump out of those hockey pucks onto the stovetop. And we've had several apartments in town that install those already, and have had several fires, and they've been either completely extinguished or slowed way down by those automatically activating. So Winston Brooks, our PIO and grant person with the city, he is instrumental in applying for grants, and we located this grant, so we've applied for that, and it's only a 5% match. So if we get the complete grant, it'll cost us $8,000 out of our budget.
Right.
And we'll have $168,000, I think, to spend on these items. So what we're going to be able to provide for is about 2,400 households will be able to get these. Now the criteria we use, we partnered with the State Fire Marshal's Office and did a survey across the city of where our highest risk homes are. And we've identified those through the Fire Marshal's Office, so those will be the ones we'll be focusing on first to get these items installed.
Unbelievable, and that's, you know, that's pretty significant, I would say.
Well, you know, our smoke alarm program, we started it in 2009. And the State Fire Marshal's Office got on board in 2012 and started providing us with those smoke alarms free. We've distributed over 2,500 of those and installed them in homes in Tullahoma. And for instance, we only had 11 structure fires last year. I have a feeling Tullahoma had more fires than that, but we didn't know about it.
Right.
Because in the early stages, they noticed it because of the smoke alarms and cut the stove off or put the fire out and didn't need us. And nobody was hurt. And so, you know, we feel like it's very successful. You know, and we would like for people to call us and tell us when they do that. Most of the time they don't call and say, hey, I had a fire, but I got it put out.
Right.
You know, most of the time they go, oh, I got to cover this up.
You know, I've heard you guys on the scanner, not because we sort of follow that thing in case there's something huge happens.
Sure.
But you talk about a lot that we've got the fire out, and everything's okay, but our guys are staying around because they want to make sure there's no hot spots and those kinds of things. So there might be some wisdom there to, if you have a fire, to let you guys have a look at it.
We absolutely encourage people to call us. It's a free service. Your property taxes pay for our service. We have a thermal imaging camera that can basically see through the walls and identifies heat. So if there's any heat in that wall that you can't see or don't even know it's there, we can identify it and locate it, make sure the fire hasn't extended into the walls, into the attic. So we encourage you to call us. You know, we won't, if you call us and tell us the fire's out, everything's okay, can you come check? We won't come with 4 or 5 trucks with the sirens blaring and stir all the neighborhood up. We'll just come over there and we've got a squad truck that we can bring and check it and make sure everything's okay. Of course, if there is a problem, we'll take care of it.
Right.
The good thing about calling us is if it goes wrong, you can tell your wife, hey, I called the fire department and they checked it. Okay?
Exactly.
If you don't, and then the house burns, guess who she's going to blame?
It's going to be your fault.
Absolutely.
Guys.
So, you know, if nothing else, call to put it on ours instead of yours.
You know, I haven't seen you since you guys helped with the big fire in Fayetteville. Tell us a little bit about, and we only got a couple of minutes left, but tell us a little bit about your part that the Tullahoma Fire Department played in that.
Well, there was a fire earlier in the afternoon on Saturday, and we didn't get that call, but about 1 o'clock the next morning, 1:30, it reignited, and we took our aerial platform down there and got there pretty quick and set up and protected the back of the theater that actually faces the square, but SERS connected to the back of it. And SERS was completely on fire, so we had to put a water curtain on the back of the theater to make sure it didn't spread. So our crew, we took a crew of 4 down there, and we were pumping about 1,300 gallons a minute of water on the back of that theater. That's a lot of water from 100 feet in the air.
Right.
But it was able to keep that back cool and keep the fire from spreading.
And that could have been a really bad situation. It was bad anyway, but I don't mean to say that, but it could have got that whole square.
Well, you know, the goal, when we get to a fire, we can't do anything about what it's done so far. We didn't start the fire, but if we can keep it from getting any worse.
Right.
Okay, and when we got there, the SERS building was a total loss. I mean, it was gone. So if we could keep it from going any further, and that's what our guys did. And the mayor, the city manager, and the acting fire chief, all 3 have sent letters and commented and said what a great job that piece of equipment we had. We think it saved
Have you
that
got
side of the
on a
square.
piece of equipment like that in the immediate area?
Yes, a platform truck that can flow up to 2,000 gallons a minute. We've got the biggest and the best.
Okay,
and we're very proud of it.
Right.
And our administration doesn't mind us going and helping people because we know we may need their help someday.
Right,
So.
great. All right, saved a lot of damage down there. I'm
Oh
sure.
man, I think so.
Richard, thank you so much. It's always nice to see you, man.
Thank you. I'll tell the chief y'all really missed him. But y'all suffered through with me. So.
Tell you, we made it through, and you did an admirable job filling in here. Okay. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in a moment with more living right after this.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
You know, one of the things our Mayor Curley, is trying to do is to make Tullahoma a really, really great place for young families to move back to, or to keep them here once they get out of college. And one of the things that we're doing to make that happen is expanding by leaps and bounds our health fit type of feeling in this town, and most of that takes place through Parks and Rec. And Lyle with Parks and Rec is here today, and we're glad to have him here because there's so much goes on. It's just hard to keep up with all the opportunities. You know, people say, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, wake up. There's plenty to do in this town, isn't there?
There is.
All right, so kind of give us a rundown, because we're getting into spring, the flowers are up. We're gonna have a little bit more cold weather, but there's, you know, it's time to get out there and walk and talk and have fun.
Yeah.
And Tullahoma's a cool place to do that. So what all you got going on?
Well, I had to bring a list because we've got quite a bit, so I'm going to refer to this a couple of times.
It's more than 2 gyms and a putt-putt.
That's right. Well, the putt-putt's gone now.
I know, but it's more than 2 gyms and a putt-putt.
Most certainly is. Probably the biggest thing that we have coming up initially is Tullahoma Babe Ruth Baseball. We were fortunate enough to have the state champions last year.
Right.
Here in Tullahoma. Our 13 to 15U team went all the way to the state championship, won that, and then went to the regional in Florida and played there. So
played well too.
Yeah. So with the newly formed Tullahoma Sports Council, we're working with them to start the sign-ups at the end of this month. So if you've got a 13 to 15-year-old baseball player, it's a good program to play in. Yeah, absolutely. One of the other programs that we have that I'm personally excited about, because it was one of the ones I was able to start when I became the programmer, was the Lunch and Learn program.
Right.
We won an award from the TRPA last year, a 4-star award statewide. So our speaker coming up this month in March is Jody Baltz. To backtrack a little bit, we started before I came on. We have a lot of Civil War history buffs in this area.
Yes.
And we've been fortunate enough to have some really good trips planned. And then when I came on, the first one I went to was to Shiloh. And so we've kind of been on this Civil War tour stretch for a while. And we'll do a couple lunch and learns on a Civil War item, and then we'll have a tour to go right after it. So Mr. Baltz is going to talk about the rear guard action at Morris Ferry, which is a local story.
Right.
Happened right here just down the road towards Deckard. Really interesting when I started doing the research on that. He's got some really good stories to tell about that, and that's going to be on March 21st. Then we're going to follow that up with what some other folks have told me is the trip of a lifetime. We're getting a tour together with Dr. Bradley as our guide. You guys may know Dr. Bradley.
Oh yeah, he's been in here numerous times.
Oh yeah,
over the years.
Well, we're going to Gettysburg and Valley Forge with him.
Ooh.
In June 2nd through 5th.
That's
so we're
great.
putting together a really neat bus tour for those big history buffs out there. So yeah, if you have interest in that, please let us know. We'd love to have a big crowd go on that. The Lunch and Learns after that, though, we're doing a program with TWRA in April about the benefits of bats. We did a program with the community garden that was similar, and everybody said the program was great, and they didn't realize how important bats were to the environment around here. So this gentleman from TWRA, his name is Dustin Timms, is coming down. He's their bat expert, and he's going to put on a whole program with our lunch for that in April. And then in May, the Rangers from Old Stone Fort Park are bringing out some of the Native American artifacts that they found over there. They have a traveling exhibit. So they're going to do our May Lunch and Learn. So we've got a big lineup coming.
That's wonderful. And this is education, folks, about maybe some folks might think of kind of obscure stuff, but there's a lot of, we're different. There's a lot of obscure people out there. And that's one thing that I think is so cool about what's happening in Tullahoma now is we're stretching to find little pockets of stuff that is interesting to everyone.
Right, right.
Not just, we got 2 things going on here and you either like it or go sit on the couch. We've got stuff happening, all kinds of stuff.
And the
happening.
way that I'm trying to program some of these is that it's relevant locally. It's
Right.
things that, if you live right here in town, these are things that, it may have happened right up the street from where
Sure,
you live or
sure.
the place where you work. And, so we're trying to keep all the programs relevant to a local flair, so that way you're not hearing about something that happened in some far off place. It's right here in your own backyard.
Yeah. Hey, and I know when I grew up on Druid Lane, and it was Druid Lane and Fort Street, and there were Civil War mounds behind our house. And as a kid, some of them were 12, 15 feet tall.
Yeah.
And, bicycle riding, and we had rifle barrels, we had cannonballs, we had mini balls, we had all this stuff. And I mean, I know you have to grow, and all of that was bulldozed down to build houses on, but it would have been wonderful if that could have been preserved.
Well, and I don't think a lot of people know even what's happened right here in town. I'll give you an example. In our January Lunch and Learn, Dr. Bradley came back, I'm sorry, not January, in November, Lunch and Learn last year. Dr. Bradley was talking about the meaning behind Tullahoma street names. And it was fascinating when he talked about Lincoln Street. And everybody thinks that Lincoln Street, Abraham Lincoln would be the first choice, but that's actually not who it's named for. It's named for General Benjamin Lincoln from the Revolutionary War. There's a whole other story behind that that's absolutely fascinating.
And Mike knows that stuff. Hey,
Yes,
I
he
tell you
does.
what, we've got a couple minutes here to run through
Yeah.
everything else we got going on in the spring. Parks are opening up.
Yes, all the
disc
time.
golf, whatever.
Yeah, disc golf is available. We're also in the middle of a project expanding the Greenway right now. That's going to connect over by where Ollie's and Food Lion area is to the existing Greenway that goes through Fraser McEwen Park. So that project's ongoing.
Oh, and speaking of that, that's going to come out right over there by Badcock's. Welcome to Tullahoma, Badcock's.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be
Glad to have
right
you.
next to him. The outdoor pool is going to be open in here right on Memorial Day weekend.
Splash Island.
Yeah, Splash Island will be open. Got lots of programs all throughout the whole summer for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Soapbox Derby is coming up on May 5th. So if you've got a young racer in the household, that's a fun event to do.
And then I'm sure you'll have an increase in activity at the dog park and.
Oh yeah, as soon as the
just
weather
because the
warms
weather's breaking,
Yeah, everybody's been stuck in the house for a couple of months with all this crazy weather we've had, so they're chomping at the bit to get out. We've already seen it in some.
Well,
of the parks,
I want to remind people as well over there at the now how does the food court work when Splash Island's not open? Is that still operational full scale?
It is. It's operational on the weekends.
Okay.
And then when Splash Island's open, it'll be open every day. So
well, we
Monday
just
to
want you
Sunday.
folks to realize that's a really nice place to go get something to eat.
It is. It is. It's lunch fare.
And it's beneficial to the city.
Oh yeah.
For you to go eat there versus eating in a corporate store somewhere.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we
And
just
the
wanted
burgers
to-
are good and the food's good there. So
Yeah.
just remember that.
Yeah, we just wanted to add to the options that you have. It's
Sure,
just another
sure.
place you can come get something good to eat.
All right. Is that about got it?
I think so. I think
All right,
so.
baseball season's coming up and all these other wonderful things. We want to thank Kirk and Lyle here and their department for all of the stuff they do to help keep all these fields mowed and everything neat and clean, growing, painted, trash picked up, because it's one of the things that makes our city attractive to other people to move in and say, boy, look at what this place looks like.
Yeah, it's a lot of acreage to take care of. and
Thank
we're-
you
we're
for what
glad
you
to do
guys
it.
have got going on.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked the tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see dabbing Ikonen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today, Martin Senor. See, Martin Senor, right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
This region of Tennessee is just loaded with great artists, and today I'm so happy that we have an Irish artist, Miss Mary Ann Morrison. Thank you for coming. And you look so awesome
much for
with all your
having
green
me.
on.
Thank you, and I'll talk about this a little bit more in a
okay.
few minutes. But I'm a mixed media artist.
Okay.
I'm retired from the Air Force, and as we were talking
And thank you,
earlier,
by the way.
you're very welcome. This is the first place I've ever lived where I had a choice, and I love it here.
Isn't it nice to settle down and have a home when you've moved all over the country?
It is. It is.
So we're glad you settled here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Today, I'd like to talk about the show that I have currently at the Celtic Cup.
Oh, here in Tullahoma, the Celtic Cup.
That's
and
exactly right.
what time is it all open? It's all your show is set up already. Right?
My show is set up, and it'll be at the Celtic Cup through March 31st.
Okay, so Celtic Cup, you just got a free commercial.
Yes, and I want to mention Denise and Chris Smith. They're great supporters of local artists.
Yes, they are.
Whether they're well known or not, and I really appreciate that.
And so you have mixed media here.
I do.
You want to tell us about some of these pieces?
The pieces on the table, starting right here actually, they will also be at the Celtic Cup on March 31st.
Is that a photograph you did?
This is a photograph, and all of these items on the table, except for the one over here on the right that I'll talk about in a minute, are photographs, and they're on different media, and that's one thing that I really like to show.
With the Mother's Day, what media would you call that?
Okay, this is a card. I took this picture in Mallaig, Scotland. And I'll have a couple of these Mother's Day cards available on the 31st also. But I do want to mention back on this piece right here, this is a floating frameless frame, and my husband and I have a ball making these.
A floating frameless
frame. There are currently...
I'm not real sure I know what that means.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. I've currently got 3 pieces that are 12 by 36. They actually are photographs, but many people have mistaken them because of the way I took them for watercolor paintings.
I saw those at the Art Center, and I don't understand the process, but they were beautiful, I have to say.
And these 12 by 36s are in the same type frame. This is an acrylic frame, and this piece right here on the top and the bottom, actually, let me see if I can move it down a little bit. This piece right here is bolted to the wall. And those 12 by 36s actually have 6 of those pieces that hold them to the wall. And they stand out from the wall, and it makes them look like they're floating in air.
It gives a different dimension.
I
and
absolutely
it's really
love
nice.
it. Absolutely
and
love it.
how about the, well, I can't, I don't know which one it is that you need to talk about.
This one right next to it is a photograph that is on metal. It's actually on aluminum.
That's the Scottish picture, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's my
Scottish Highlander. He was playing Amazing Grace when I came upon him.
Oh,
in the
don't you love
Scottish
that?
Highlands. Absolutely.
With the
I started
bagpipe.
crying.
When I was in Scotland, I saw the whole, unit of bagpipers doing Amazing Grace. It's very touching.
Absolutely love them. They are.
I love your necklace. Is that part of your art?
Actually, this one is not my art, and I was going to talk about that a little bit too. There is currently a show that's going on at the Franklin County Art Guild's Artisan Depot.
Across the railroad track, sort of?
Yes, it's it's on the main street there, and as you're coming from this area, it'll be on the right.
And so they have artwork as well as that's beautiful
Yes.
jewelry.
The lady that did this is Kim Previtt, and the wearable art show that they have there involves her and Frances Perea and Pat Richards, who upcycle clothing.
Upcycle.
They take used clothing and they've made some beautiful things,
How
both
interesting.
wearable art and wall hangings.
That's
Absolutely
wonderful, yeah.
gorgeous. One of them has a fairy dress.
And
there.
that art center, all this is on display right now.
All of that is on display
What's the
in
hours?
Cowan. The hours are going to be from Thursday through Sunday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday from 12 to 5, and Saturday from 11 to 5.
And these pieces are for sale.
They are. And
so
they're
is
also,
it to benefit the art center?
It
Is that the idea?
The Art Center not only has classes that people can take, but they also have a yearly scholarship for a Franklin
wonderful.
County high school student who's studying either art or art education.
And so, and how do they apply for that scholarship?
They apply through the
school,
Artisans
I guess.
Guild. Right through the Artisans Guild,
and so
you can find that.
they are themselves aspiring young artists.
Correct.
That's a
And-
wonderful thing to do.
Yeah, it's absolutely
How many years
wonderful.
you been doing that? Or you may not know because you haven't been here that long.
I do not know how many years they've been doing it. No, I don't. But several years. Well, since I've been here for the last 3 years, they've awarded someone.
I love
with
that you're
one.
in green. Is that your clan's colors?
Actually, this is my husband's clan's
Okay.
colors. Because I'm a Morrison, I wore these today.
Yeah.
But I'm actually a Thompson, and my family came from Scotland through England, and my direct descendant was born in Ireland.
Awesome.
So that's how that happened.
I love Celtic music.
Yes, I do too. And we're going to hear some music here in a little bit. I don't think it's going to be Celtic, but
that's okay.
I'm going to segue into that a little bit too. I also want to mention that anyone, regardless of age, can participate in the Franklin County Art Guild's community shows.
Oh, good. And are they often?
Yes, they are. Just about monthly. And the current one is called Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, and you can also see art at the art center there from many other artists. We have a lot of artists. I also work there.
So the community thing that you show is anybody that calls
Anybody.
himself an artist.
They don't even have to
whatever
call
it is that
themselves
they
an
do.
artist. It's regardless of age and regardless of their qualifications or their experience.
Okay,
It's a wonderful
is it crafty,
opportunity
or
for
is
people.
It all,
All you have to do for a community show is adhere to the theme.
okay, I see. So Earth, Wind,
So
and
it
Fire.
could be sculpture, it could be,
I see.
someone could actually finger paint if they wanted to.
That's a neat thing to do.
It is
and it's a good way to
wonderful.
encourage the community to come together.
And children.
And children, obviously. We always want to get to the children. Keep them off the streets.
And you can find out about these classes that they also
Do you have
have
a website?
through the website for the
You wanna give
Franklin County Art Guild. It's Franklin CO Arts. I'm trying to remember the rest of it.
Franklin County, that's all right. Probably if you
But
typed
it
up
is.
Franklin County Art Center, it would
Yes.
probably come up.
It will.
You know, we got to go, Mary
All
Ann. I wish
right.
we had hours, but you
Yes.
look beautiful, and
Thank
I'm
you
so proud
so
to have you on this
much.
show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Lord only knows.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire
structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Are you alive? If you're not, you won't be watching this. If you are, do you have art in your life? If you don't, you need to. There's one way to make that happen. It's Arts Alive, and it's being pumped up and brought back to our town by the Tullahoma Arts Council. And we're fortunate today to have Tisha Fritz here with us and Winston Brooks, and they're going to tell us about the event that's going to happen on May 26th in Tullahoma, Tennessee, Arts Alive.
Thank you. Actually, it's going to happen both May 26th and 27th. It's going to be an entire weekend of arts, crafts, food, music. We're really pulling out some serious stops for this.
There you go. That's great. And if you folks remember, there used to be an arts fair on the grounds of South Jackson for years. Winston, when did you say you had a starting year on
1978.
that? Started in 78 and went until about 10 years ago?
Yeah, went for 40 years.
Went for 40 years.
2009 was the last year.
Yeah, 2009, and then it was let disband, and now we're trying to bring that back and bring it back in grand form like it once was. Exactly. There's times you could go and there was not a piece of ground over there at South Jackson that wasn't covered with artwork and people.
Yeah,
it was a great event.
Great reputation locally and regionally and even at the state level. So we're going to slowly build that back. And the Art Council, the Arts Center, South Jackson Civic Center, they've all been working really hard to bring back a great festival.
Yeah, right now, what we are most interested to, kind of get the community involved in is to bring aboard more artists. We have, the festival structure is going right along and we've got some great things to feature, but we'd like to bring in more local artists from our community. We know they're out there, and so our big focus right now is saying, hey, give us a call, Winston or myself, or visit our website at tullahomaartscouncil.com, and just click on that Arts Alive button. And there you're going to find, that we've got offerings not just for your traditional artists, but we've got a new section that wasn't there before called the Arts and Crafts Market. And so we are happy that it's going to bring, not just your traditional art, your oil, your canvas, your woodworkers, and your metalworking, which we're excited to say we already have on board, but we're able to bring, more of your everyday artist on board with things like applique and, laser engraving. Yeah, technology has evolved, in this period of time since it went on before. So we want to make this accessible for artists and also make it a very exciting shop for the community as they come out that weekend.
Right, and you know, it's a juried show.
It is.
And there needs to be a part of that show that is a juried section of that show.
And we will have
because
that.
we want
Prize
that
money.
Prize money.
and we
Yes.
want to bring some of the great artists to town. And we have great artists in town, but we want them to be involved. But we also want to let somebody like me who draws Flat Sam, you know, feel comfortable to go over there and have a $30 booth.
Yeah, we have an
and
emerging
show your
artist tent for that.
stuff.
Yep.
And as long as one thing that used to upset me a little bit about the Bell Buckle Arts and Crafts thing is it was a juried show and it was up at Webb School, and then it changed, and all of a sudden, you know, there was tube socks and fake Rolex watches. You know,
We're
and
not
this
going
is not
quite
going
that
to be. Yeah, this does
no,
not
no.
need. This is not going to turn into a
It will
yard
not-
sale.
No, it will not be a yard sale. This is going to be the type of event that artists can be proud of, the
Right, there you
community
go.
can be proud
There you
of.
go.
We're not
Well-
looking for just anybody.
Right. We still have booths left. So the deadline for artists to register is April 2nd, and $75 for a booth. But we mentioned the prize money. The top prize money is $500. And you know, one of the things I'm excited about is the music that we're going to offer on the front steps of South Jackson. We've got Debbie and Bill Sanders helping us manage the stage.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that'll be
We've got,
good.
John Cook working in the background, helping us to get artists. And right now we've got Chase Clanton from Shelbyville has confirmed.
Right.
We've got
He's a killer, monster guitar player.
Band of Pearls, and you know he's bringing some of his high school.
Oh yeah,
players.
yeah. I went over to Eagle Palooza
Yes.
a couple weekends ago and saw a lot of those young people. Of course, we have talented young people in Tullahoma, but there are talented young people in Manchester,
Oh, yeah.
and Shelbyville,
And
and,
that's-
Fayetteville, and McMinnville, and it's amazing what these young folks
So if,
can
if you're a
do.
musician, you want to be involved in this, we
Yeah.
still got some slots available. We've got Dave Johnson, Marion Galbraith going to join us.
Ooh, that's wonderful.
Band of
Love
Pearls
it.
with Emily Rutherford being directed by Inge Wood as well. So I mean, we've got some big hitters here,
Yeah,
and still
that's good.
more announcements to come along the music. And one other thing I want to mention too is we're working with this technology company called Near2, and so we'll have a digital scavenger hunt going on for the families and the kids there. So if you learn more about that,
a
we'll get there.
digital scavenger
That's
hunt.
right.
Tullahoma is up top, folks. Up top. I want to ask you a question, and I just thought about this.
Okay.
And you might have considered this. If you haven't, there might still be enough time to consider it. Don't forget the culinary arts.
Okay.
And you might have a contest of you know, almost like a fair type event where people bring their prize dish, no matter what it is, be it pimento cheese or be it pickle or whatever, and have a culinary art judging and tasting
Sure.
and stuff.
Will you
Just a
judge it for
thought.
us?
Just
Will you be one of the judges on that for us?
Judge it? Of course I will.
So we do have some of the
Judge an eating contest. I'm in.
Yes. I think that's where you're going. So we
No,
also,
it's just a thought because culinary is an art.
You're absolutely correct.
The Art Center and Diane Gowrie, she's helping us put together our judges. And
Good.
So if you're interested in being involved on that level, please contact the Art Center and Diane down there,
Yeah.
and she'll get you plugged in.
So this is going to be May. It's the end of May.
Yes, last week in May.
And so we have April, half of March, April, and May.
It's coming
for
at you.
you folks to consider being involved with this at any or all levels. You might want to be a contributor for a ribbon or a prize. I know in the old days, you know, we at the American Legion and the Sons of American Legion would buy a $200 prize or a blue ribbon, or I don't know what the pricing
We call
was for
those,
that stuff, but there's people who
bucks.
get involved, art sponsors and stuff like that. So that, you know, let's help get this thing to where people will start coming back, and how you do that is give them an opportunity to walk away with some money.
That's it. And
Either through sales or gifts or winnings.
as a tip of the hat to Lucy Hollis, who was the originator of this event, that's going to be the name of the top prize.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
best in
wonderful.
show. Yeah.
She deserves that respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very
we will
important for
honor
the
her
Arts
through this.
Council to
Yes,
honor her in that way.
deserves that respect. Thank y'all for being here, and I'm sure we'll see you again,
will see us again
to discuss this subject in the next 2 months. And
Yes.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Anything we can do, we will. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back, folks.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com.
to find our handcrafted designs for
The cock of the walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and I say we're back, and I'm glad to have Dwight Cox up here with us right now. And it's always fun when he comes by because he's always talking about Christian athletes, and I believe in that very much, and I'm very proud to know that you're as involved in that, and keep that program going, because it's very important that our young people have an opportunity to find the celestial help that they need.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing?
Oh man, we have our annual banquet coming up. It's the 3rd annual banquet for the Elk River region. Elk River covers 5 counties: Coffee, Franklin, Moore, Grundy, and Lincoln.
Yeah, that's about the same place we go with this television stuff.
So we're having this banquet in Winchester again, at the Winchester Church of Christ on the 9th, April the 9th, which is a Monday night. Our guest speaker is going to be Chris Sanders. He's a former Titan. He was on that Super Bowl team. So it should be interesting. It should be good.
Yeah, I remember that name. Sure do.
He's a receiver, or was.
And what are you looking for right now? I mean, are you looking for sponsors for this?
Yes,
or
sir.
Tell us about your
sponsors,
sponsorships.
Tickets, we have $20 tickets per person. And then if you want to be a table sponsor, there's 3 different levels. One is basically a half a table. This sponsors a kid to go to camp during the summer, FCA camp, and it's $300. And then it goes up from there. The next level would be the $700 sponsor, and then the $1,000 sponsor. So, and Citizens Tri-County Bank came through for us big time. They are the title sponsor, and we really appreciate them doing that, covering the event.
All right, so this is going to be a meal. What do y'all have to eat at these
We
things?
typically have chicken breast with white sauce, and then roasted potatoes, green beans, plenty of pie, salad,
pie,
rolls. So
rolls,
you will not
good
leave,
rolls.
You will not leave.
There's
empty.
always good rolls there. Yep. So
We'll start at 6 o'clock.
Okay, 6
and
o'clock.
we try to really keep it from 6 to 8.
Yeah.
We try to honor people's time.
Yeah, time is an important
we worked on
thing in
that
people's
over
lives.
the last couple of years, and we try to make it like clockwork so they can know when to come in. We start at 6.
Right.
The doors open at 5:30, and then at 8 o'clock we're trying to wrap it up.
Well, this is you have one of these a year,
Yes,
like
sir.
a major fundraiser like this.
Yes, sir.
Let's let our audience know a little bit about exactly what y'all do throughout the year to help these young people involved in athletics know more about the Christian side of life. How does your program work?
Yeah. Well, if you know anything about FCA, in years past, you know two things. You know the early morning huddle, which we still do, and we believe in, and then, which is usually before school, at a campus.
Right.
And then also FCA camps, and those happen during the summer. It's grown. We still do both of those things and believe in them strongly, but it's grown a lot. One of our focus shifts has been we try to minister a lot to the coach, because the coach is usually one of the biggest influencers in that child's life.
Sure.
So we're trying to minister to the coach. FCA calls it to and through the coach. All right. And then secondly, focusing on team huddles, trying to get people from the community that can be a volunteer. We call them character coaches, and they get involved in the team with the coach's permission. They come in, and they're kind of like a team chaplain.
Right.
They start off with a ministry of presence, just getting to know the guys and the girls, and then as time goes by, before or after practice, a voluntary time is set aside if the kids want to do this, if the coach is okay with it, and they do a devotional time, do some talking, and just deal with life issues for the kids. Yeah.
But we want folks to realize this is not something that's being forced.
Nope. Totally volunteer
on these children.
Yes.
This is a voluntary thing, and there are a lot of these young people that choose to get involved in this.
That's right. And there are times, where we say, hey, we have an FCA time after practice. You can stay if you want to, and some stay and some don't.
Yeah.
A lot of them do stay.
Well, it's busy. These young people are busy.
Yeah, but
they got all
it's
kinds of
absolutely
stuff
volunteer.
going on. Yeah.
That's right. We do a lot of leadership training as well. That's something we're trying to improve in. And what that looks like is we will train the students to lead their huddles. That is the goal. Especially the early morning huddles. We want those student athletes leading the huddles. And it's been really neat to watch them grow. When they first try it, they're scared, they're nervous. I mean, you imagine being a middle school student or a high school student, standing in front of your peers, talking about the Bible, talking about Jesus, not knowing exactly if you're saying the right things. But as we train them, it's been amazing to watch them grow in their leadership abilities. It's been really fun.
Not everybody's a leader.
That's right.
It's real obvious. Not everybody wants that pressure.
Yeah.
But some people accept it and thrive with it.
That's right.
And it's amazing to watch which ones do and which ones don't.
It is.
Just like Peggy can tell you, being on stage, you see some of these young people get on stage, and some of them are fearless and just absolutely explode with joy being there, and others are not quite so, and some of them are even timid and scared and don't come back. So I'm sure it's sort of the same type of a deal.
It's just so rewarding, really, to watch the growth.
Yeah, it is.
It's really
it
neat.
is. So we'll get back again to this. We're going to be. This is the Elk River FCA. It's the fundraiser banquet. It's Monday, April the 9th. It's at Winchester Church of Christ, and the guest speaker is wide receiver. From the Titans, what's his
Chris
name?
Sanders.
Chris Sanders. Oh, it's up in the picture right
Yeah.
there. Okay. If you want to sponsor, you can be a gold sponsor for $1,000, a silver sponsor for $7, a bronze sponsor for $3. Single tickets are $20 a plate. Called White Cox.
Sir.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
Appreciate you.
Good luck to you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back after these messages.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Tired of paying for monthly telephone service, expensive long-distance bills, and all those crazy taxes? Are you sick of spending money on telephone equipment, maintenance contracts, and service calls, all for a phone system that shackles you to 100-year-old technology and your desk? Stop it. It's time to ship your phone system to the cloud. What can the cloud do for you? Bring together remote offices, workers, and employees in the field. Make sure that you'll never miss calls by delivering them to multiple devices. Modernize faxing by allowing multiple faxes to be sent and received at once, and delivered to email. Get your voicemail messages instantly through email too, and take advantage of an endless supply of customizable features. Host My Calls can deliver the cloud. All of this technology with low upfront costs and not one penny in capital expense. It's time for a phone solution you'll truly love from Host My Calls. Call the number below.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I love it. You people have the pleasure of meeting Ron Hackett. He's from the Lincoln County Fayetteville Art Center, or vice versa. Fayetteville, Lincoln County.
Lincoln County Art Center, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
and
the
thank
president.
you for coming, by the way. You're the president.
Yes.
And here I thought you were just a lowly guitar player with the South Jackson Street Band. I thought that's all you
no,
did.
I get the privilege of doing both.
That's great.
Yeah, I took over as president about 2 years ago, but for the past 4 years, we've been running we like to call it a performing arts show. Performing arts show, we also call it an open mic because that's what most people call it. But we wanted to be open to all types of performing arts, not just the musical arts or to songwriters. We're open to everything. We have people that come by and recite original poetry.
I love that.
We've had people come by and do just dramatic readings of, say, a Robert Service poem. We do get a lot of songwriters that come in like to do their original songs. We're also open to covers.
Okay.
So you do not have to bring original music. You can bring a cover.
Can a person come and sing with a CD? A
Certainly,
karaoke
yes.
idea?
A karaoke type of
Just
idea.
whatever they want to do.
Whatever they want to do.
And how often do you do that?
We do it twice a month, the first and third Saturdays of the month.
First and third Saturday. What time does it start?
We start at 7 o'clock and run to 9 o'clock.
And where is your place located?
We're at 303 Main Avenue South. We're a block off the block south of the square in Fayetteville.
So you really can't hardly miss it. You just.
It's an old church building. You drive by it. It's
and I expect y'all have a website, so it would be.
It's
Fayetteville, Lincoln County.
FLC, Fayetteville, Lincoln County. FLC-arts with an S center.com.
And so people can go in and find out the time
yes.
and what they can do.
They can go
I
on
love that idea. We've been talking about doing an open mic here, and I hadn't thought about adding all the different varieties of artistic performance. That's
well,
wonderful.
we're very fortunate. We have a building. It's an old church building. It was originally built in 1910 as a Presbyterian church. It was bequeathed to the Art Center in 1975. So we have a building. We have a picture of it on the screen right there. There's our building.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a little bit daunting to get into.
I love
Unfortunately,
it.
we're not handicapped accessible because of those daunting stairs trying to get in, but it's a beautiful building. I believe we've got some pictures of the inside that shows,
okay.
There's a picture of our stage. This is what it looks like as you come in the back door.
So about how many people do you all seat?
We'll seat, typically I think we're set up for about 40 people right now.
And do you do little theater productions also?
Yes, we could. We're also the art gallery.
Okay.
The Art Center is a nonprofit corporation, and we support all types of arts in the area. So we have wings on the north and south side for the gallery.
So you have the whole entire church.
It's our building.
All the rooms.
We have the upstairs and the downstairs. We use the downstairs as a classroom. This is
Okay.
a picture of the performing arts stage. We've got a drum kit set up and an electric piano. So if we have somebody that comes in for a quick set,
Yeah.
for 15 minutes, you don't want to haul a piano in.
Exactly.
So we've got it set
so
up there
when
for
you have this open mic event, do the people have to get there early to sign up, or do they just show up?
Just when they get there. This is Mr. Pete Krim. He's playing covers, mostly old gospel tunes. We still have a bit of our audience going there, but this is from one of our open mics. We just put you up on there on stage, and you get 15 minutes to do whatever you want to do in that 15
Well, that's
minutes.
a good long time.
This is me playing with a couple of kids, my guitar student, Travis Lammer, and Evelyn Warden. She's a jazz player that started coming to the shows.
Okay.
And we were doing Latin night. I passed out Latin rhythm toys to the audience and had them playing
And
along
everybody
with us.
played along.
So it was an audience participation.
What fun.
This is Miss Taylor Hoke. She's actually the person that started the
Is she a
open
comedian?
mic.
She looks
no,
like she could
no,
be.
she's an Americana songwriter
Oh, okay.
and singer. She's also an accomplished author. She's got several books that have been published.
That's wonderful.
This is a picture of her reciting poetry. She's reciting from Shakespeare in this particular picture here. So she's quite a talented lady. She started the open mic about 4 years ago, actually about 5 years ago. We had a situation, we weren't making them any money, so they kicked us out. I found the Art Center, we moved into the Art Center, we've been there ever since.
And you have been in the military, I know.
I'm retired Air Force.
And when you came to, how long have you been in Fayetteville?
18 years now.
Okay, so you're not a newcomer.
No, I've been around for a while now.
And have
Yeah.
you always been interested in the arts?
I've always been a musician. I got my first guitar when I was 11 years old, and been playing for 49 years now. So I'll save you the trouble
so
doing the
by
math.
now
I'm 29 and holding.
You should know what you're doing. And this beautiful young lady.
She was reciting her original poetry that night. That is Samantha Posey. Well, it used to be Posey. She's since married, and I don't remember what her married name is, but a beautiful young lady and some great. This is Miss Marilyn Harris.
That is
she's
Marilyn
actually
Harris.
from
She's
Tullahoma. She used to come quite frequently.
Showcase
She's
her.
had some personal issues here recently and hadn't been able to make it out, but she asked me to tell you in the community that she loved the shows.
Oh, good.
She loved coming out, and she certainly encourages other folks to come out and give it a try. Again, we're open to not only original music, but to covers.
You know, I love the fact that you do that, because sharing what you personally write, take a poet or a songwriter or anybody that does something, it's not easy to share with the public. So when you do it in this small, intimate showcase,
yes,
you'll find people being confident enough to show their stuff. And I think that's beautiful.
This is a great place for the first timer.
Yeah.
If you've never played out before and you want to give it a try, come on down, because it's a small stage, a relatively small audience. Typically we have about 20 people at a show, 15 to 20 people. Very encouraging. If you make a mistake, no
it's
problem.
Okay.
Start
Life goes
over.
on.
It's not a problem.
In fact, it's not real life.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Yeah. It's a great place if you want to come and try it out for the first time.
And let's give the dates and times on that again. It's
going to be the first and third Saturdays of the month.
First and third
The next one is going to
Saturday.
be this Saturday, the 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
At 6?
At 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 to 9
What
o'clock.
time's the door open?
6:30.
Okay, so you can get in there early and be first on the bill. And then if there's not a ton of people to showcase, you get to go up twice, maybe?
Yes, we do an encore
So you
round.
do that
We do the first
sometimes?
round to make sure everybody gets in, because we do
Okay.
have some latecomers that come in.
And then you do an encore
But
round.
if we get to the end of the show and we've got time left, we'll
Are
start
you the
doing
one that
encores.
started this?
No, Taylor Hoke did.
Taylor Hoke
She was
started it?
the picture.
Well,
she had a little bit
I
earlier,
think
but,
it's a great idea, and I'm so glad you brought it here to share share with us.
Thank you very
and
much.
I'm so glad you play with the South Jackson Street Band. Have you got another song you could do for us?
Sure. This is a bossa nova by Antonio Carlos Jobim, and it's a song about the mountain overlooking Rio de Janeiro.
Wonderful.
It's called Corcovado.
Corcovado.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
We were full of art today.
Man,
I loved
art and music, just incredible.
It's nice to live in a community and a region that encompasses all these different artistic people.
Yeah, and then to have a Parks and Recs department that has lunches where you can learn history. And,
Isn't that great?
You know, it's
Yeah.
just amazing. And just like I said, if you say you can't find something to do around here, you're not trying.
I agree with you.
Because there is stuff happening.
There is something to do all the time.
And what are we getting ready to have? What's the next thing up
Is
at
it
South
Heaven-
Jackson Civic
Heaven
Center?
Can Wait?
Heaven Can
I
Wait.
believe it's Heaven Can Wait. And after that, we have, it's called the Pied Pipers. It's
Oh, yeah, that's supposed to be
Lisa
really exceptional.
Maurer and her group are doing a string quartet, which will be awesome.
Yeah, supposed to be really, really
There's
good.
several things going
And
on.
then in Manchester at the MAC, it's Dancing with the Stars, which is
Oh, that's
always
right.
good. Jacob and Cindy
Jacob
are going
and
to be
Cindy
in
are
that.
dancing. Is that, when is that?
It's the end of this month. I don't know. I'm going, but I haven't been told when I'm supposed to show up
Oh, you
yet.
haven't been given your
I don't remember that
instructions?
stuff. I don't remember that stuff. Fran tells me where I need to go. She's my calendar. She's my phone book. She's my spelling person and my grammatical. She's my editor.
Dancing with the Stars, is that a fundraiser for the Manchester
For the
Art?
MAC, yeah, Manchester Arts Center. And they do a
some
good
good
job
work.
with it.
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah,
do.
do a great job over there. So.
Do they have a band, or do they have karaoke like music? I mean,
Well,
CD?
no, they don't have a band.
Each person
brings their own songs that
Yeah.
they dance to. Now they have a country song. They have a country song. They have a waltz. They have they have I think
Cha-cha,
three different or four different things they have to
tango,
do.
a salsa,
And so they
foxtrot.
bring whatever music they
That
wanted
wanna
to do
dance
that.
to.
So,
Well,
hey,
it's a neat thing to do.
real quick before we go.
Oh wait, to all kinds of
A
locos.
loku. This is a problem that a lot of us have. I do at some points. The consternation of procrastination fuels the obliteration of determination and the stagnation of creation.
Oh my
So
goodness.
if you procrastinate, you don't have time to procrastinate.
I don't have time to
do you?
procrastinate. I make a decision and I'm done with it for the day. But you need to go up to Lincoln County and the art center up in Fayetteville and do your loku for
Okay,
them.
here's another quick one. I cut
Okay,
my
all right.
tongue licking an envelope. A handwritten note is worth the sacrifice. I need to acquire a sponge pad or befriend a frog.
Oh my gosh, goodbye.
We'll see you next time.